There is this popular saying that you should not start what you cannot finish. Ha. That's how me I went to start one video 3 weeks ago. I've been using 1 month ago, and I was doing motivation. I would hold myself accountable, and I said this is part one. I said see you in part two, and that's how so many things just kept happening, and I haven't been able to do the part two. But I knew that this thing I have started, I must finish it. I don't want to be like one football club. If you know, you know. I'm not going to mention name. They've been topping the table since like forever, And just 3 days ago on Wednesday, they were giving one kind of serious beating. That they are still at the top of the table, but that table doesn't have 4 legs again. It has 3 legs or maybe 2.5 legs. It's shaking seriously. So I don't want to be like that. So I want to finish what I have started. That's why I'm here today. Hello gracious ones, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Grace, and today I'm just going to be continuing something I have started already. So a few weeks ago I did a video about how you can apply for your provisional driver's license in the UK. It's a step-by-step guide. If you haven't watched it, I'll try to put the link here. Yeah. So I talked about after the completion of the online application, you're going to get a mail delivered to your home. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what you will do when you get that mail and what the mail contains and so many other things. So the mail you're going to get will contain 3 things. So you'll be getting 3 items in an envelope. The form, which I will be explaining how you're going to fill in this video. The form is green and white in color, so it has the colors of Nigeria flag and green, white. Okay. Inside that envelope, you also have an envelope, which is the envelope you will use to post the completed form and your documents at the end of the. You're going to have to put in an original document for identity purpose, so you're going to put that inside this envelope that is also enclosed in the envelope that came to your house. And then the third item will be a leaflet, still trying to explain better what documents you need to put in and trying to make sure you do not make mistakes during your application. So that's what will come in your mail. Now, what do you need to do? So you need to fill that form I talked about, the green and white form. Please fill in capital letters. It's written there. Before I continue, let me state here that this, as usual, is a guide. I'm going to do this disclaimer. And some things might have changed. Because when I wanted to fill mine, out of Wasabi, I went to watch one video that now confused me the more, And I realized that the timings on that video is different from the timings on my own form. As I proceed, you will understand what I'm saying. But there might be some variance if things have changed, because I did mine about 6 months ago. So things might have changed. Things keep changing. Process, anything, might be one line. So always read line by line. Follow the instruction. But what I'm going to do in this video will make it easy for you to assimilate, comprehend, and do the right thing. By default, growing up, I've come across, I hate filling forms, but I've filled so many forms in my life. I've come across a number of forms where they ask you to use capital letters and black ink. So by default, I fill almost all my forms with black ink and capital letters, except otherwise stated. It's something I do. It's something you might want to begin to practice. But this particular form stresses that you need to fill in capital letters. And then when you need to sign at the bottom, it says you need to sign in black ink. So I think if you can fill the entire form in black ink, it will be beneficial to you. So you don't make mistake and end up signing in blue ink and having your application cancelled. So you need to enclose a photo of yourself. You need to enclose this photo in certain standards that have been outlined in details on this same form, as in full details. Don't bend your head like this. Don't do your head like this. The background must be plain. Your eye must be like this. The criteria is Anyway, I'll tell you what I did. So you have to also enclose an ID if necessary. For you that you are a non-citizen, you must enclose at least one ID. Then you have to also return the completed application form using the provided envelope in the pack that came to you. So let's look at the form together. Okay, the form has 2 pages, the front and the back. The front page has 3 sections. Section 1 is compulsory and it has 2 parts, A and B. So the part A is asking you to provide your identity digitally. And this is usually for just UK citizens and those who do not need to send any original documents, physical documents, to the driver's license people, DVLA. Okay. Then the part 2 talks about enclosing your documents to prove your identity, and that's for non-UK citizens. And you need to put an X. So there's a list of documents. You choose the one you are going to enclose, and it has to be an original copy of the document. So you mark it with X. They said they specifically say mark it with X. I'm saying so because I saw someone that filled his own form and had to tick. I had to tell him, oh, they said X and he corrected. Just follow the instructions. So mark with X against the document on the list that you're going to be providing. Most likely, as a non-UK citizen, the best one for you will be the best document for you to enclose will be your biometric resident permit, the BRP. Why? Because apart from that and your international passport, okay, your valid international passport, any other thing you want to enclose, you still need some extra backing, some extra documents to prove. So you need documents to prove those documents. So why complicate issues for yourself? Excuse me. And you also maybe need someone to sign. After you have marked X in front of the document you are enclosing, just below it there's a place where you're supposed to enter the serial number of this original document. Do not forget to do that. And then you are expected to return the form within 21 days, or else your application will be cancelled. So from the time you get the form, you are expected to return within 21 days. So I don't know if it's 21 days from time you got the form, because of course they don't know when you got the form. But they cannot estimate when they posted it and when you got it. But what I know is that on the form, the date you applied online is written on it. So date of application is written on it. And I'm feeling that it's 21 days from the date of application. But whatever the case may be, once you get the mail, please fill it and return immediately. Don't keep it. In my own case, I got the mail and I just kept it. I said, okay, I'm waiting for my husband so I can fill it together. Because I wanted someone to help us sign. The goal was, I didn't want to send my BRP card because I know the process you will go through. If your BRP card gets missing now, you have to apply for a new one. I mean, I don't like unnecessary stress. There's already so many necessary stress that you cannot run away from. So why add the unnecessary ones to it? You get it? So I wanted a friend of mine to help us sign. A friend of mine who drives in the UK to help us sign. So I wanted to take the forms together. So my husband hasn't signed this and he's been busy with work and all. So I was waiting for him. Only for me to just pick the form and say, okay, let's fill this form. And I saw that 21 days. I didn't even bother looking at the form initially. And when I saw the 21 days, we had like, I think 5 more days for the 21 days to elapse. I started running helter skelter, and around that time was when Royal Mail was going on strike. I said, hey, it has happened. My village people are finally caught up with me, you know. But yeah, God being faithful, it wasn't an issue, and we got a provisional driver's license right on time. Section 2 is about signing to verify your identity. So if you are providing an original or a valid passport, or a UK issued travel document or BRP as proof of your identity, then you do not need someone to sign the back of your photo. Otherwise, you will need someone to sign the back of the photo you are attaching. So if you don't want someone to sign the back of your photo, then just use your BRP. If you don't need to look for someone, because there's a lot of conditions that the person that will sign your photo has to meet. It's not just anybody that can sign your photo. The person has to be a driver in the UK, has to of course have a clear record, has to have been in certain professions and occupation. So the rule and everything is okay. Like I said, the form has two parts, the front and the back. So everything you need to fill in the front, the back page is just giving you extra details of all you need to fill at the front. So the back page has sections A, B, C, which corresponds to the sections 1, 2, 3 at the front page. So A is explaining all the things you need to get, all the details you need to ensure that you fill section 1 appropriately. Same thing with B. B explains all the details you need to ensure that you fill section 2 in the front page appropriately, and same applies to C. So they took their time to explain, so you will not say that you were not informed. And I am also informing you and elaborating more. So no excuses, okay? So we're gonna get it right the first time. That's the rule. Speaking about getting someone to sign your photo, so the goal, like I said earlier, for me was to ensure that I do not send my BRP before the thing will come and lost in transit. You know, but you know all these things that some people have seen a friend fill his own. When he filled his own, somebody signed for him and he still attached his BRP, and I'm like, the condition was clear, it's either this or that. So why are people doing both? I said, okay, let me go and see what people are doing. I think somebody would have filled it. So I went on YouTube and I searched, and I saw a video, and the person was saying do 2. I'm like, I mean, was it 2 during our time, you know? And one of the reasons why I didn't fill my form on time was because that video said fill and submit within 40 days. I said 40 days. I have time now, 40 days. So, and it wasn't a mistake because the person that did the video actually showed the page. The form then was 40 days. And then when I filled my own was 21 days. But I was hoping on what the person in the video had said about their own. So 21 days is what we had. I don't know if it has shortened now. It's still 21 days. But whatever the case may be, please read through every single line. Read through every single line. Thank you. Then the section 3, number 3 on the front page, has to do with signing the form and enclosing a photo. You'll see a white box provided for you to sign. Please sign within that white box and make sure you are signing with black ink. Black ink. I don't know how many times I've said in this video. Okay? And you sign within the white box provided. Your photo must meet certain standards. The background, it must be a plain light colored background. I've told you, as in, your head must be like this, your ear must be like this. So when I saw this, and I said, I had passport, but I had passport, white background, clear. I had extra passport. When I saw these things, I hate to do work. I don't like filling forms, but I know I have to fill it. So when I fill it, I try to fill it in such a way that it is so perfect, at least close to perfect, that you will not ask me to do it again. So I did follow anyway. I sent both my BRP. I sent both my BRP, and I got a friend to sign for me because I had someone to sign for me. That was my first option. I grudgingly added my BRP. So when you add your BRP and you're trying to post, I would advise you post with special delivery, whereby it will require that the person receiving your BRP has to sign that they have received it. Because these people that deliver mails, they make mistakes sometimes. For example, I've received mail that was not meant for my house. Let's say I'm living in number 10 Downing Street, for example. I know that's where the Prime Minister lives. I'm not living there. It's just an example. Don't come for me. And they now dropped a mail that is for number 10 Dorothy Street into my house. You know, so these are human beings, and if you see, sometimes they are like elderly men that pull these carts around and deliver these mails. So maybe the sun is too hot, and then you are seeing something else instead of seeing something else, you know. So just make sure that whoever is delivering your mail has to sign to pick it up. That way you are giving a double. You have to just pay. You need to pay a little bit more to post your mail, but it's not much. I think it's about £6. I can't really remember how much I paid, and it depends on distance and the weight. So if you are putting your international passport, it will weigh more than your BRP. So put your BRP, put your biometric. So it's the weight. They use weight. I think they use weight and distance or something like that. But I know they use weight. They weigh. They always weigh. When I want to deliver something, they always weight. But it's really something you can afford, and you don't want to. If you know how much you will pay if you lose your BRP, and it's not even just the money. the mental stress, the physical stress, the psychological stress, you would want to even pay times 100 of whatever it takes to do the special delivery. So please go for special delivery when you're delivering your BRP card. Or alternatively, if you have someone who can sign for you at the back of your passport and fill in the details, why not? But if you don't want to go through that stress of bothering anybody, just insert your BRP and do special delivery. When you are inserting your photo, the photo should be facing upwards. And because of the plenty conditions they put about the photo, if you go to the C part of the form at the back, you'll see the conditions like so because of the many conditions, I did not bother using that one I brought from Nigeria or the passports I have. I went to do their own standard, normal standard that UK use for form. So you'll see all these photo booths. You find them in supermarkets, you find them in bus stations. Like the one I used was in the bus station. I just went there, and then it's self-service. You do your work yourself. It's supposed to be I think when I did it, it was 4 photos for £8, you know. But before you're going to try out different shots to ensure you've gotten what you want, you know, these people are so nice. They also give you that trial one. So I ended up having five photos for £8. So even the trial one, they'll add the additional one for you. So you have 5 photos for £8. Yeah. I think I've covered everything. Like I said in the first video, I'll just share my own timelines and dates, and maybe that would help you also understand when I fill the form and the time. So when you're hearing about your own date, you know that, oh, this is what was applicable then. If it's not applicable when you're doing yours, things change. Change is the only constant thing. So I did my online application on the 13th of September 2022. Within a week, I'm not sure of the exact date, but within a week, I got the mail. The mail that had the form, which I have just explained in this video, and the envelope with the leaflet. I got it delivered to my house within a week of my application, and I kept it thinking I had 40 days. Thank God I realized it was 21 days on time, and then we filled and submitted. So we actually signed and submitted our form. We signed our form on 29th of September, and then I went straight to the post office and I posted for both of us. And then so that was 29th of September. Then on the 10th of October, I received a mail which had my BRP returned to me. So my BRP was returned to me on the 10th of October in a mail. I think the mail is here. In a mail, and the mail was the mail had my name and all. I said, your original identity documents are enclosed. Your driving license should follow shortly. Please allow 2 weeks. It might take longer if we have to check your medical or personal details. If we need to make medical inquiries, we would write to let you know. So that's basically the information you have. I would certainly put this up for you to see. But so that's what came. So it came in on the 10th, and the next day, I got my. So on the 11th of October, I got my provisional driver's license. Interestingly, I submitted the same day with my husband, but he got his own before me, maybe 3 or 4 days before mine. So I think it depends on when they treat us. I'm just sharing my timeline so it gives you an idea, and nothing to worry about if it's slightly later or it's earlier. Different timelines for different people. I think it just depends on how fast the person attending to yours attends to it and stuff like that. But I'm actually exhausted. But I saw someone come to the video of part 1 and say, please, where is part 2? And I told that person that I'm going to come do part 2 this weekend. As usual, grace day for you. I love you all. Take care of yourself. Stay graceful. And I'm going to see you in my next video.